We bring you the latest edition of MBC News with me, Hilda Ngomano, coming up this afternoon. President Mutharika condemns mob justice on unfounded allegations of theft of men's private parts for ritual purposes in Chikwawa and Nsanje districts. High Court rebuffs concerned citizens who were blocking the court not to deliver its ruling in relocation order case of Malawi Electoral Commission. And remains of 15 Malawians who died in tragic road accident in Zimbabwe arrive in Malawi ahead of their burial. President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika has directed law enforcement agencies to intensify efforts to restore order and ensure that all perpetrators of mob justice on unfounded allegations of theft of men's private parts for ritual purposes are brought to justice. Presidential Press Secretary Kathy Maulidi says the president has further condemned the unfortunate incidents in the Lower Shiri, where 7 people have lost their lives following unfounded allegations of theft of men's private parts for ritual purposes. She said the Malawi leader has described the killings as deeply unfortunate and unacceptable in this modern era. The president has further advised all Malawians to desist from spreading false rumors and taking the law into their own hands. To date, about 45 individuals have been arrested, with charges ranging from murder to spreading false information. Meanwhile, 27 people have been sent to remand at Chichiri prison over the Nsanje Chikwawa private parts disappearance mob justice. Malawi Police Services, through its Deputy Inspector General Noah Kaira, has vowed to arrest everyone connected in the case until justice is served. Currently, 45 people have been caught and await conviction. Rashida Matandika reports.
Out of the 45 suspects, 18 are the claimants of the missing genitals, while 27 are the ones that took the law in their hands. According to the Deputy Inspector General Noah Kaila, all 45 will be charged of the offences of either murder or unlawful wounding.
We have responded and we have arrested people, and these people are going to be charged. Because of the intelligence that we had before the raids on their homes, most of them, and most likely most of them, are going to be charged with the offence of murder, because they killed a person or they killed people knowingly that this person did not commit an offence. And then these people who were claiming that their manhoods are missing, these people again will equally be charged with associated offences, because they are the ones who caused these particular persons to be killed.
Chikwawa District Commissioner Frank Nkandawire described the situation as embarrassing, but said civil society organizations are on the ground with awareness campaigns.
As a council, we are doing everything possible to make sure that we bring calm and peace in our communities. But suffice to say that this situation has been fueled by rumor mongering, coupled with illiteracy and malice. So, like I've said, it's a very appalling situation, but peace and calm has now come. We regret the deaths that have occurred as a result of this situation.
Meanwhile, the Malawi Human Rights Commission has condemned the act, which, according to the chairperson, Chikondi Chijozi, is a human right infringement.
As a commission, we've already started talking with the DC. We've been informed there's a community awareness meeting happening on Wednesday. As a commission, we are going to be part of it to continue to raise more awareness on rights and that people have responsibilities. No one has rights that have no limit. All rights stop at where your duties start. So when you stretch your arm at the end there, somebody's right starts there, and everyone should be respected their rights. No one is allowed to take the law into their own hands.
So far, 7 people have been killed following the violence, while 2 are injured. Rashida Matandika, NBC News, Chikwawa.
In a related development, people in the country have called for a vibrant enforcement of the Witchcraft Act to address issues of mob justice related to witchcraft allegations. This follows increased cases of mob justice cases in Nsanje and Chikwawa districts, where 7 people have been killed on allegations of stealing private parts. Meanwhile, the Executive Director for Center for Human Rights Education, Advice and Assistance, CREA, says it is time police and courts act swiftly by meting out stiff punishments on perpetrators. Beatrice Mwabe with the report.
Recently, the Lower Shire has registered a wave of increased killings of people accused of stealing other people's private parts using black magic. Since the genesis of the rumors, 7 people have been killed ruthlessly by angry mobs. This is happening at a time Malawi has the witchcraft law. The law prohibits anyone to call another person a witch or wizard, claims to have witchcraft powers, or acting as a witch finder, and anyone found in the wrong risks paying a fine or faces imprisonment. Speaking to MBC, Ekawale resident Angela Chiuye says the country needs full enforcement of the witchcraft law to prevent loss of life due to the allegations.
When the rules were being made, there was a civic education, and people knew if I say you are a witch, if I pinpoint someone that you are a witch, police can come and pick the person. Maybe arrest, even going to court. Yeah. But for now, of the recent, I don't think the rules are still there. Maybe everyone is just violating the rules. Everyone can do whatever he wants. I can say you are a witch without any malamulo taking place, yeah? Yeah, so I think those rules, of course, are there, but enforcement of the rules.
Her sentiments are equally echoed by Kenneth Justin from Area 43 and Jonas Mbewe from Area 49.
We all heard that there is no witchcraft. It is a crime to call someone a witch and a person can be arrested. Unfortunately, currently the law is silent and everyone is doing as they please. Looking at the situation now, there is need to ensure the law takes full effect and those found in the wrong are punished. People are dying because of simple allegations without tangible proof. It is time people know that they have the power to report to police and that the police has the power to act.
Executive Director for Center for Human Rights Education, Advice and Assistance, Victor Mhango, says it is sad to note that as the world is progressing, a section of people in the country is still retrogressive. Mhango says there is need for the criminal justice system to take tough action and ensure the issue is dealt with.
No, I think sometimes it takes time for maybe Malawi Police Service to prosecute. I think I would just urge them that whenever they have arrested some people who were conducting mob cases, they should be taken to court as soon as possible so that other people should learn from that. It's also unfortunate because the people are not learning from others. This has been happening in other districts, maybe in different forms, but we find that people that are replicating the same. Like the incident in Lower Shire, it started in Nsanja and then it spread to Chikwawa. Why they know that I think the police are hunting for people, but they're still maintaining the same. So I think it's better for the criminal justice system to take a tough action, more especially when it comes to prosecution, that these people should be prosecuted and they should be given a stiff punishment for them now to appreciate that the law is above anyone.
Meanwhile, Deputy Inspector General of Police Noel Kaira says anyone found spreading false information on the issue will face the law. Currently, Malawi Police Service has arrested 43 people, of which 16 are accused of spreading false information, while 27 are expected to answer murder charges. Beatrice Mwabe, MBC News, Lilongwe.
High Court in Blantyre has shot down an application by some concerned citizens who asked the court not to deliver its ruling in a case where the Malawi Electoral Commission is contesting an executive order to relocate its headquarters back to Blantyre from Lilongwe. Attorney General Frank Mbeta says with this ruling it means that the court can now deliver its ruling on the matter. Mbeta explains.
3 people actually approached the court for injunction against relocation of the offices of the Electoral Commission to Blantyre. So we opposed the application, and one of our main arguments was that these people have no sufficient interest or any rights that they seek to protect in respect to the relocation order, the executive order that His Excellency Professor Mutarika made on 10 October 2025. So the court has agreed with us that indeed these people do not have any sufficient interest in this matter. They cannot maintain that particular suit against government, and therefore the injunction has been refused.
Now, what does this mean?
Well, Mint has to relocate.
How have you received the ruling?
We entirely agree with the court because indeed that's the correct position. These would have no rights whatsoever that they would want to protect in respect to the Electoral Commission. We are happy about this judgment. Well, I think this ruling just reinforces the position of the law that only people that have got special interest in a matter are the ones that must really go to court. It seems like it has become common among so many people, that overzealous people, that they just want to be taking government to court, even on matters where they are not involved. So this judgment reinforces that position, that only those that have got special interest, then those are the ones that must be approaching the court. Otherwise, it's just a waste of time and resources, both for the court as well as for government to be defending matters where people know they do not have special interest, regardless of whether it's political or not. But
Paramount Chief Kaduya of the Lomwe people has advised the newly elevated Traditional Authority Andrew from Gajeres Township in Blantyre to promote unity, desist from corruption and complement the government's development agenda. Paramount Chief Kaduya made the remarks at Gajeres Township in Blantyre during the celebrations marking Chief Andrew's elevation to Traditional Authority. Chisamo Break with a report.
Chief Andrew, whose area is situated near Gajeres Township in Blantyre, is the first Lomwe Traditional Authority in Blantyre following his elevation in January this year. The event marking his elevation celebrations were characterized by a blend of traditional dances, including those from Palombe, Mulanje, and Mangochi. Speaking during the ceremony, Paramount Chief Kaduya of the Lomwe people challenged Traditional Authority Andrew to be development-oriented, support the government's transformative agenda, and love his subjects. The occasion attracted a large crowd, including cabinet ministers and prominent business figures such as Tom Mpinganjira. In his word of counsel, former board chairperson for the Mulako Lomwe Cultural Heritage, Joseph Mwanamveka, advised the chief to live in harmony with his subjects and other tribes. Mwanamveka emphasized that there's power in oneness, noting that development flourishes where there's unity of purpose. The Andrew chieftaincy dates back to 1895. It came from Mulumbu in Mozambique. Chisomo Break, MBC News, Blantyre.
Remember, you're watching MBC News. A reminder of our top stories. President Mutharika condemns mob justice on unfounded allegations of theft of men's private parts for ritual purposes in Chikwawa and Nsanje districts. High Court rebuffs concerned citizens who were blocking the court not to deliver its ruling in relocation order case of Malawi Electoral Commission. And remains of 15 Malawians who died in tragic road accident in Zimbabwe arrive in Malawi ahead of their burial. Welcome back. Malawi has earned $26.1 million, which is about 45.7 billion kwacha, from tobacco sales in the first 3 weeks of the 2026 marketing season. According to the Tobacco Commission's Week 3 market report, 12.3 million kilograms of tobacco have been sold at an average price of $2.13 per kilogram. The Commission says rejection rates have slightly improved, dropping from 90% recorded in the first 2 weeks to around 65% on some trading days. George Mkandawire speaks to the Commission spokesperson, Teleforas Chikwenembe.
Generally, the market is progressing well. In terms of rejections, we're finding comfort in the positive trend we saw in the third week. You see, in the first 2 weeks, we saw daily rejection rates falling in the range of 90 to 100%. But in the third week, we saw the rates coming down to 65% on some days at different markets. We expect this positive trend to continue until we get to single digits, or better still, to zero.
Traders who ply their trade in Tsoka Market and Lilongwe have welcomed resumption of business by Chinese and Indians whose shops were closed due to disagreements between them and Malawi Revenue Authority MRA over introduction of electronic invoice system. Our reporter Austin Fokula did some spot checks in the city where he observed that some shops opened on Monday.
The past week, shops in the capital city and other cities were closed due to the protest of shop owners over the introduction of electronic invoice system by Malawi Revenue Authority MRA this month. The argument was that the system was not conducive as access to forex on black market remains expensive, hence affecting importation of goods.
In our spot check here in the capital city of Lilongwe, we have seen that most of the shops are opened as of Monday, and talking to some of the vendors in the city who ply their trade in the Tsoka market, they have complained to say they lost a lot of business during the time the shops were closed because they had nowhere to shop to order their bills and everything that they get in such shops.
Chairperson for Tsoka Market, Steve Magombo, and other vendors had this to say.
Indians and the Chinese were not operating their businesses. We were affected in one way or another. You know, we can't order these things from abroad ourselves. We depend on these people. So what had happened is like we were nowhere to go.
We depend much on the business we are doing. So our families were affected because when we sell our businesses, we use some of the profits to feed our families. So we were greatly affected.
These have affected us so much. We were unable to make business because customers, they were failing to come in town. They thought there's demonstration.
As some shops have opened, there are some who did not open their shops as of Monday. Meanwhile, vendors have appealed to the shop owners to open their shops, saying they prefer buying their goods from various shops. Austin Fugula, MPC News, Lilongwe.
Democratic Progressive Party DPP has assured Malawians that DPP-led administration has started dealing with some of the problems facing local communities, adding that the country's road network will also be improved. DPP Regional Governor for the North, Christopher Nzomera-Ngwira, who is also a presidential advisor on parliamentary affairs, said this at Mperembe in Mzimba district after meeting some of the party's followers. Musase Cheyo reports.
According to DPP Regional Governor for the North, Christopher Nzomera-Ngwira, who is also presidential advisor on parliamentary affairs, the current leadership is committed to improving people's lives by dealing with the problems they are facing. Ngwira said as problems of hunger, fuel and forex are being addressed, the road network will also be improved.
Malawians need better roads. Here in Mzimba, we have the earth roads, which would want to grade them. Not just to grade, some of them they need to be upgraded, and we should also think of putting the tar. As I'm talking to you, we don't have the reliable road network in Mzimba. So we'll make sure that this government, the government of Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, we should put more effort to the roads, that we should have better roads. Malawians need better roads.
The party's campaign director in the region, William Kaweche, said the country's visionary leadership is also strengthening the party.
Look now, the maize price is almost at reasonable price, 45, 50,000, 40, that everyone can afford to buy, because the food is a key. Food is a key to everyone. Whether you don't have money, as long as you have food in house, you are good to go. You can see now, food is plenty. Fuel, even though we are still struggling, but we are having. Professor Mtalika is working on it, and little by little, we are recovering.
The party is currently encouraging its grassroots structures to be united to facilitate development at local level. Musase Cheyo, MBC News, Mzimba.
The National Youth Council of Malawi, NICOM, says it has intensified district-level information sessions to encourage young people across the country to benefit from the Youth Innovation Fund. Speaking to MBC after engaging youths in Blantyre, Communications Assistant Mtameni Kachusa said the call for applications to the fund will open later this month. Government introduced the Youth Innovation Fund targeting young Malawians aged between 18 and 35 with interest in sectors such as agriculture, tourism, mining and manufacturing. In the 2026-2027 national budget, government allocated 2 billion kwacha towards the fund. Kachusa explains.
As a National Youth Council, what has prompted us to be doing these district information sessions is due to the feedback that we received last year when we were rolling out the first phase of this Youth Innovation Fund program. The Youth Innovation Fund is a government-funded program that started in 2025, and we had our very first cohort that was about 85 applicants. So when we were doing our review to start rolling out the 2026 phase of this program, we had noted that a lot of young people had expressed that there was a lack of information in terms of how they can, and also what is it that the National Youth Council is really looking for when it comes to the Youth Innovation Fund. So as the National Youth Council, we thought it very necessary to do district information sessions. So these sessions are happening across the country, from Chitipa to Sanje, just sensitizing the young people in terms of giving them knowledge on how, first of all, what is the Youth Innovation Fund and what they need to do to be successful in their applications for this fund.
President Arthur Peter Mutharika has expressed condolences to the bereaved families who lost relations in the accident that occurred in Zimbabwe earlier this month. Speaking on behalf of the President, Deputy Chief Secretary in the Office of the President and Cabinet, Stuart Legomeka, said the country is deeply saddened because many of the victims were youths and children. Ruth Chinangwa has more in this report.
Grief engulfed Kamuzu Stadium in Blantyre upon the arrival of the 15 bodies that died recently through the road traffic accident in Zimbabwe. Speaking on behalf of the President, Legomeka said that Malawi has lost people who could have contributed greatly to the development of the nation. He also thanked the government of Zimbabwe for working hand in hand with the government of Malawi, as well as all parties involved during this difficult time.
My encouraging word to the bereaved families is what we find in Psalms 38. If you look at the book of Psalms 34, not 38, 34 verse 18, it's an encouraging verse where it says, "The Lord will always console the brokenhearted, and He's going to save the crushed spirits." So all I will say to the bereaved families is to look up to the Lord Jesus Christ Himself. He is going to console them. Nobody else, no words can console them.
James Gondwe, a representative of the bereaved families, said he has lost a niece who had a promising future and was traveling back to Malawi to give birth.
Government has done a lot, to bring our black families from Zimbabwe to here in Malawi is not easy. And I want to thank our state president, Arthur Peter Mutharika, to make all possible to our relatives to come here and rest.
This has also been followed by another tragedy involving 8 deaths in a separate bus accident that occurred in South Africa. May their souls rest in peace. Ruth Chinangwa, MBC News, Blantyre.
Well, that item also concludes this edition of MBC News. A reminder of our top stories before we leave. President Mutharika condemns mob justice on unfounded allegations of theft of mayor's private parts for ritual purposes in Chikwawa and Nsanje districts. High Court rebuffs concerned citizens who were blocking the court not to deliver its ruling in relocation order case of Malawi Electoral Commission. And remains of 15 Malawians who died in tragic road accident in Zimbabwe arrive in Malawi ahead of their burial. For live news updates, visit our digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You were with me, Hilda Ngomano. Thanks for watching and good afternoon.